on lesson 7 and I had to stop for a coffee break. So now we're going to discuss maps and atlases. And this is really important when we study our Bibles because it helps us see the distances that were traveled. Maps today are not the same as they were in the first century or during the Old Testament times. So let's dive in and see where we can find these maps, atlases, and how to use them. Now I'm going to show you a hard copy of Bible atlases and maps. This is very similar to what we have in our study Bible, but the study Bible is a way more condensed version of what this has to offer, as you can see the thickness of this book. When you first open it up in the beginning, it does give you a table of contents. It is important to look at this because maps places change from century to century. And so up here, you'll see the biblical setting, part 1. Over here, you'll see the Old Testament period in part 2. And then obviously in part 3, you're going to see the New Testament era. Makes the most sense. Underneath that, it's going to even go further into more specific guidelines. Here we have where the Romans' emergence as a world power and the different maps that led to that. Here we have the Romans, Palestine, and Herod the Great. You get the idea. Here, the world of Jesus. So this would definitely take place in the first century while Jesus was on the earth. Well, let's go ahead and check in and see some of the other features. Here, there is some explanation of the maps that you're seeing. This is going over Egypt and what it looked like in the time before Abraham. As you can see up here in the top, it tells you before Abraham. It's a super handy guide, especially if you're trying to figure out what the landscape and the areas that are being talked about in Scripture were like. One of the cool features about this Bible map atlas specifically is that it does offer you some guidance and different features of seeing some artifacts that would have been found in that area. Super handy stuff. Obviously, there are maps with keys and guides. And there are even charts and information in that sense. So let's go ahead and take a look at the online versions and we'll dive right in so you can learn how to use these to teach. Now we're going to show you guys how to use the maps and atlases online for free. As you can see, we are already on the websites and these URLs are located in the PDF attached to this video. We're going to start with the BibleAtlas.org. This is one of the coolest maps that I think that's out there because it's interactive and there's different features to it that are super helpful as you're studying. So as you can see here, we can click on Find Place. And for the sake of research, let's check out Ephesus. And see, it pops Ephesus up on the map. And then it also shows you pictures of the actual sites in Ephesus at the bottom. That's really cool. Okay, then you can obviously make your map bigger or smaller. This is a cool feature too. You can type in the different locations that you're looking for and it'll tell you the distance in kilometers as well as miles, which is a really cool feature for the different areas of the world. The text mapper, when you click this, you can place different locations that you are interested in seeing where they are at on the map, and then they will show up on the map as well. Then we can clear it. So if we want to clear the map, you hit the clear. This shows you images of the locations, and then these are blog articles that are related to the locations that you've typed in. If you want to go a step further and see where the Old Testament roads take place, you can see these tiny little, let's zoom in a little bit so you can see them better. You can see the black lines represent the roads, and you can actually click and drag the map to see more, which is a really cool feature as well. Then let's check out the New Testament roads. Again, the black lines represent the roads. You can make it a high resolution or not. This is just something you can play with and it's just really helpful. The last thing I want to show you about this map is that you can click on different areas of scripture. So let's check out Acts. And it's actually going to show you the majority of locations that take place in Acts on the map. So here we have Galilee, we have Philip, we have Judea, we have Samaria, and Jerusalem, and the pictures also come up at the bottom here. So have fun examining this map and see how you can use it. Let's move on to the ISV Bible Atlas. Zoom back in, reset my There we go. Here, as you can see, there are obvious maps that are located and they tell you exactly what they are. So for instance, the life of Moses, when you click on it, it's going to pop up. It gives you a chart next to it as well as the different locations on the map. These tools are going to be super handy whenever you're teaching because your students will be able to see these with their Bible lessons. Moving on, we're going to look at Bible.org and the maps that go along with the NET Bible maps. These are samples, but again, it's very similar to the ISV Bible Atlas. So let's just look at an Old Testament map 5, Israel during the divided monarchy. When you click it, it just shows you a map and outlines that. These are just some simple ways that you can look at maps and use them for your teaching. It's up to you what you want to use, but these are some that are available to you 100% free. Now we're going to check out maps on an app. You will see that we already have the app downloaded called Bible Map. There is a link in the PDF attached to these videos that show you where you can find this app. Let's go ahead and click it. This map is super cool because it has some really neat features. For example, let's go ahead and pick a book of the Bible. Let's say Job, and let's go to chapter 11. It takes you to the location of that, and as you can see, it's got a red marker, and then it gives you the name. When you hit I for more information, it gives you the location in Scripture as well, where you can find that. Let's try another one. Let's look at Matthew 12. As you can see, there are different locations here with the red bubbles. So clicking on a red bubble, we get Tyre. Let's look at the information on it. And it gives you information about that place. Isn't that such a neat feature? Then you can go to the different locations. It lays them out where those locations in that part of Scripture are. Then you can go to different manuscripts here. You can see that it has the tailed on steel and the inscriptions. You can click on that and it gives you more information on those as well. And then it also gives you different places where Jesus' ministry was, when they took place, because these are major events in the Bible. All I can say is this is a really cool app. You can play with it, figure out what works for you, and you can just discover little different areas that places in Scripture took place.